Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm excited to have you here for today's video where we'll be taking an in-depth look at the Linux ext4 file system, its unique features and benefits. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button to support me and stay tuned for more great content. There is a text version of this video available on my website, with the link in the video description below. Now let's get into it. Linux is a popular operating system that powers many devices, from smartphones to supercomputers. Linux uses file systems to organize and store data on different types of storage devices, such as hard disks, flash drives, or network servers. A file system is a set of rules and structures that define how files and directories are named, accessed, and managed. There are many file systems available for Linux, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. One of the most widely used and advanced file systems for Linux is ext4, which stands for the fourth extended file system. ext4 is the successor of ext3, which was the default file system for many Linux distributions for more than a decade. ext4 was developed to overcome some of the limitations of ext3 and to provide better performance, reliability, and scalability. In this article, we will explore the unique features and benefits of the ext4 file system, and how it compares to other file systems. We will also provide some tips and best practices for using the ext4 file system on your Linux system. Features and benefits of the ext4 file system. The ext4 file system has many features and benefits that make it a superior choice for Linux users. Here are some of the most notable ones. Backward compatibility. The ext4 file system supports backward compatibility with ext3 and ext2 file systems. This means that you can mount an ext3 or ext2 file system as ext4, and access and modify the data without any problems. You can also convert an ext3 or ext2 file system to ext4 without losing any data, by using the tunetools command. However, once you convert a file system to ext4, you cannot revert it back to ext3 or ext2, unless you have a backup. Allocation improvements. The ext4 file system allocates storage blocks more efficiently before writing them to the disk. This reduces the fragmentation and improves the performance of the file system. ext4 also uses a technique called delayed allocation, which postpones the allocation of blocks until the data is ready to be written. This allows ext4 to optimize the allocation of blocks and avoid unnecessary disk operations. Timestamp improvements. The ext4 file system supports nanosecond resolution for file timestamps, which means that it can record the exact time when a file was modified, accessed, or created. This is useful for applications that rely on accurate timing information, such as databases or multimedia. ext4 also extends the range of dates that can be represented by the file system, from December 14, 1901 to May 10, 2486. Extents. The ext4 file system uses a new way of storing the location of file blocks, called extents. An extent is a contiguous group of blocks that belongs to a file. Instead of storing the block number of each block of a file, ext4 stores the starting block and the length of each extent. This reduces the metadata overhead and improves the performance of large files. ext4 can also handle files up to 16 TB in size, compared to 2 TB in ext3. Multi-block allocation improvements. The ext4 file system can allocate multiple blocks at once, instead of one block at a time. This reduces the number of disk operations and improves the performance of the file system. ext4 can also allocate blocks from multiple block groups, which increases the chances of finding contiguous blocks and reduces the fragmentation. Delayed allocation. The ext4 file system delays the allocation of blocks until the data is ready to be written to the disk. This allows ext4 to optimize the allocation of blocks and avoid unnecessary disk operations. Delayed allocation also reduces the fragmentation and improves the performance of the file system. However, delayed allocation also introduces some risks. such as data loss in case of a power failure or a system crash. To mitigate this risk, ext4 uses a journaling mechanism, which records the changes to the file system before applying them. Unlimited number of subdirectories. The ext4 file system supports an unlimited number of subdirectories within a directory, compared to 32,000 in ext3. This allows ext4 to handle large and complex directory structures, such as those used by mail servers or web servers. Journal checksums. The ext4 file system uses checksums to verify the integrity of the journal, which is a special area of the disk that records the changes to the file system before applying them. Checksums are mathematical values that are calculated from the data and used to detect any errors or corruption. By using checksums, ext4 can prevent the file system from being corrupted by a faulty disk or a power failure. Transparent encryption. The ext4 file system supports transparent encryption, which means that it can encrypt and decrypt the data on the fly, without requiring any user intervention. Encryption is a process of transforming the data into a secret code that can only be read by authorized parties. Encryption can protect the data from unauthorized access, theft, or tampering. ext4 uses a kernel feature called fscript, which allows the user to choose the encryption algorithm, the key size, and the password. Conclusion. The ext4 file system is a modern and powerful file system for Linux, that offers many features and benefits over other file systems. ext4 is backward compatible with ext3 and ext2, and can handle large and complex files and directories. ext4 also improves the performance, reliability, and scalability of the file system, by using techniques such as extents, multiblock allocation, delayed allocation, journal checksums, and transparent encryption. If you want to use the ext4 file system on your Linux system, you can either create a new partition with ext4, or convert an existing partition from ext3 or ext2 to ext4. You can also tune the parameters and options of the ext4 file system, such as the data mode, the journal mode, the inode size, the block size, and the mount options, to suit your needs and preferences. You can use tools such as mkfs.ext4, tunetufs, e2fsek, and mount to manage and maintain your ext4 file system. The ext4 file system is a great choice for Linux users who want to enjoy the advantages of a modern and advanced file system. ext4 file system can provide you with faster, safer, and more flexible data storage and management. ext4 file system is the default file system for many Linux distributions, and is widely supported by the Linux community. ext4 file system is the result of years of development and improvement, and is constantly evolving and adapting to the needs of the users. ext4 file system is the file system of the future for Linux. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful/informative/entertaining. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Your support really means a lot to me and motivates me to keep creating content.